Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making a short little video on a team building guide. Um, Basically what I think is the ideal uh, um, thought process behind building a team, and how I build my teams in the game. As you can see right here, I have 4 characters at 5 star, 1 character at 4 star, and she's pretty close to getting that 5th star on her. Um, and I'll explain why I have the team that I have. But to build your team, the first thing that you want to do is have a DPS character. Um, Traditionally, I think most people are going with AoE DPS characters, so a lot of people are using Mulan or Donald or Maleficent are kind of like the top threes. Some budget options are like Flynn Rider, and to tell you the truth, I actually don't know who else is AoE, but you're going to want to have one of these characters as your kind of like main character. This is your main focus of the team. Your second character should be most likely a healer. So for me, like I have Baymax. Other people might be using DJ Mickey or Rapunzel. So your secondary character should always be a healer, and then your third character is usually like your main buffing character. So I use Daisy as my main buffing character, but there are so many characters that do buffs. Stitch is another one. He does crit buff, and then there's a couple others. I just got Pooh, and he does defense buffs. So whatever works best for your main DPS character, I think is the best option to go with for your buffer character. So like I like to use attack on mine because it kind of helps me get through things a little bit quicker and deal more damage. So I really like that aspect. But this is basically the core of your team. So your core is going to be your AoE DPS, your healer, and your buffer. So aside from that, after you have your core team, then you want to kind of add a few little niche things. So what I like to do is I like to also add in a single target character for attacking. And now that I'm looking at this list, I actually don't really know who does single target attacks. Maybe Tigger does. Yeah, so he's a single target attacker. He doesn't really have anything too special on him at the moment, but I like to run a single target character because having 2 DPS, if one of them gets locked out or stunned or anything, then it's kind of you're kind of stuck, right? You need to have somebody else who can attack. You can run 2 AoE DPS characters. That's totally fine. So if you wanted to say run Donald and I'll just say for this instance Flynn Rider, right? So like I can have Flynn Rider get stunned and then still be able to use Donald. So that's a good option. And then my 5th character is kind of more of like, I kind of think of it as like a what do you need for this kind of a fight character. So right now the fights that we're trying to build for are the hard boss fights, the bonus bosses. And I think, to be honest, like the best options for stuff like that is to have kind of like a defensive character. Marie is a tank, and so is the Goofy. There's a tank Goofy right here, and those I think are really good options for teams. Is to have your core, your AoE DPS, your healer, and your buffer, and then to have a tank and then maybe another DPS. But the thing is, with those 2 the backline characters, they're kind of interchangeable with anything. So let's say the fight with Pete. Pete is a very difficult fight, and for me right now, I'm having the most difficulty with keeping my characters alive, and it's keeping the whole party alive. He does a wide AoE attack, and it just deals massive damage. So really what I think I'm going to end up building in order to get through Pete is I'm probably going to build Pooh, and I'm probably going to build either this Tank Goofy or Marie, and then instead of doing another DPS character, um, I you know I'm still kind of thinking what might I use with this. Um, I could use another AOE DPS, or I could build something like Chip. I'm actually really looking forward to try and build Chip because of his abilities, and I'm just hoping I'm not disappointed when I get to that point. But so anyways, that's just kind of like how I build my team is to have your core team, and then you have your back two characters, which are what do I need for this? For the Nick fight and Maleficent fight, it's you need cleansers. You need somebody who can cleanse stun lock or paralysis, and I can't remember the characters off the top of my head that do that, but some of them at this point kind of require extra. Let's see if I can show this level breaks. So see, like this on Baymax requires a cure stun or gives a cure stun. So that kind of is going to be a little bit later down the line when we get more use out of getting character dupes. But for right now, that's basically how I would say to build your team. Create a core team, level that team first, and then go from there. So, for example, on mine, my core is Mulan, Daisy, and Baymax. And then those were the ones that I leveled first. You can see I did Hero Mickey, mostly because I was trying to pass that Nick fight, but that I decided to take these characters up first. And then if you're doing a tank, you definitely want the tank to be kind of in the front line, and also you want them to be built up as quickly as possible so that they can tank more damage. So Marie is not going to take any damage, or not going to take damage very well if you don't level her up, and same with Goofy. So you kind of want to bump them up a little bit, possibly after you build your main attacker. So that's really just going to be about it for the team building aspect of it. If you guys have questions or need like recommendations on what to use over like if you should use Baymax over Rapunzel, that discussion has been all over the place. It's kind of like a hard discussion to get into, but if you guys have questions, comment down below. I'll try my best to answer questions like that to the best of my knowledge. And yeah, that's going to be it for our team building. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.